What is happening, folks? What is happening? Welcome to the soon Tony, Emmy, Grammy nominated show called The Forge. I am your weird host, Jimmy G. We also have our other host, Billy the Kid, and we got a special host today. So, Billy, why don't you just go ahead and take us where we need to go?
What's up, folks? Thanks for joining us on another Sunday. Billy the Kid here, Jimmy G, of course. We are ready to rock and roll with the one, the only, Eman's World of Geeks. This guy is fantastic, amazing part of that nerd culture, and is just getting into some Transformers reviews. And we said we got to get him rocking and rolling with us. So, Eman, please introduce yourself. Tell our fans or friends, whatever, what you are about, where they can find you, and let's get this show rocking and rolling.
Most def. Now that is an intro right there, Billy. Jimmy, thank you so much. My name is Eman from Eman's World of Geek, and on my channel, I talk to you about Transformers, comic books, tech, gaming, and more. You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram at Eman's World of Geek. And it's full of pop culture nerdiness. I hope you guys come by and join. And that's what I'm all about, fellas.
Rock on, rock on. So, Eman, how long have you been doing this journey called the YouTubes?
Okay, I've actually been doing YouTube for about 6 years, and it's mostly been in the comic book realm. I talk comic books with friends. I do comic book reviews, unboxings, and whatnot. But my real first love has always really been gaming and Transformers. So recently I started, just say, you know what, I really enjoyed Transformers. Let me add this to the channel. So over the last year, I've been dabbling a little bit more, but then over the last few months, I was like, let me just add a little more Transformers stuff. So I guess that's why I'm here, to nerd out with other nerds about Transformers, right?
That's it. That's what we're here for, too. I mean, you come to the right place. All of us have all sorts of different passions. But, yeah, we're here to talk about Transformers. And I have got some news for you all. And there was a big event in Japan that Takara just showed up and showed out for.
Yeah, they
so
came
let's
in
get
force.
right into it. So, first of all, let's just go. And first things first, this is just kind of a shot of their booth, some of the stuff that they had. Of course, there's that MPG Optimus Prime Style Gen, which is definitely on my pre-order list, and there's a bunch of other stuff there. But let's get into the very first thing. This is a Takara Robotech crossover. It is Basara Prime, based off the Fire Valkyrie, if you've ever watched Robotech. Which is really cool because you got Optimus Prime, who has like speakers in his chest. He has a guitar, has a mic stand, all sorts of stuff, and then transforms into that Fire Valkyrie right there. I am all in on this. I love Robotech. I love Optimus Prime. Eman, I know we talked and you said Optimus Prime is your dude, so I would love to hear your thoughts on this guy.
Dude, this looks amazing right here. I'm really digging the chest. I'm really digging the guitar that he's got. He's got this whole stage. I feel like I'm about to listen to some Slipknot coming out of that chest right there. That Robotech jet version right there, that looks awesome. It reminds me of this Macross's, I think Macross the movie. There was a mind controlled jet that was like supposed to be the next generation of Macross jets, and that's what that reminds me of right there. This thing looks fantastic.
Yeah, Billy, what are your thoughts, my friend?
I'm gonna go with Eman and totally agree. As a musician, I'm loving seeing the stage, the guitar, the vibes they got going there. I do want to see some more pictures of the bot without the accessories going, just so I can get a feel for it. Because the way that right arm's positioned, it just leaves me like, what are we doing here? However, it's beautiful. That jet mode is everything I hoped it would be. I do want a version released with the Jetstorm colors from Beast Machines. I know that sounds weird, but it would just look so good. I have high hopes for this, and I hope that they repaint the hell out of it, to be honest.
What's so cool with Robotech, because you had so many VF1s and all that kind of stuff, you can do a lot. You can put Jetfire, you can do an Ultra Magnus, you can do all sorts. But how cool would it be if you pushed a button and Stan Bush's "You've Got the Touch" comes playing? There we go. That'd be awesome.
I'm sure there's modders out there that will be pulling that off for us.
Yeah. Now we've got this. This is the AMT Predaking that some people have. There's mixed reviews on it. They love the style, but they hate the size. It's supposed to be about 12 inches tall, so it's supposed to scale with your Legacy Menasor Superion, Constructicons, and things like that. But let me see if I have a closer view of that the face there. But I love this. I don't have a Predaking to show off. I think this would be my Predaking to show off. I am not opposed to the size just because I don't have a lot of room. But if you're a masterpiece person, this may not be for you. But if you're a Predaking fan, I mean, the stylized version of this looks really, really cool. So, what are y'all's thoughts on this guy?
I'm going to jump right in. Sorry, E-Man, but this is Studio Ox styled Predaking. This is everything I want out of a Predaking. This is jumping right out of Call of the Primitives, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all I see. Um, Beautiful paint, beautiful detailing. You can tell how articulated it is. I am a little thrown off by the size just because if this is chug scaled, it doesn't fit with any of the chug figures, right? It doesn't looks wise. If this was masterpiece scaled, you could throw this with your what is that? That Rodimus Prime, like the DX. I think it was DX9 did a Rodimus Prime that is Studio Ox designed.
Yeah.
That would look great with that. You could even bring this to a Legend scale, and it would fit in with MFT and some of the other Legends figures. I think its size is the only thing throwing me off, but I think this is a must-own for combined mode alone. I would need to see some more in regards to the mini bots, though. Like I want to see what their articulation and designs look like.
I'm sure that'll be coming. And C-List Villains podcast, how many points of articulation? More than one, less than 1,000. I don't know. We don't have a lot of information on this guy yet.
I'm going to just jump in. Autocorrect Primer. Derek, how you doing, brother? Nice to have you here. He says it depends on the price if I get him. I've seen a lot of different price points that people have listed between, I want to say, $250 and $700. Nothing's been said yet. Am I right or am I wrong?
That is correct. Nothing's been said about price. Nothing's been said about anything. So just that it's 12 inches. And we all know size doesn't matter. It's what you do with the size. I mean, it's just plain and simple. So,
Mike, how you doing, brother? We've got some awesome people here. Yeah. So, Eman, what are your thoughts? And yes, those wings are fully Nova Prime. I can see that. What are you thinking, brother?
So a lot of the words that you guys said, I'm still trying to figure out what they truly mean, but based off of what I'm seeing here, what's been presented to me, it looks fantastic. The detailing on this is great. I love the coloring. It looks like the coloring was just really well thought out right there, making sure certain pieces are certain colors, just light colors here, some dark colors here. You know, here's the light. Like it's a good mixture of everything. That orange and yellow, that classic Predaking color is coming through nicely, but what I really enjoyed looking at is the head, because there was one thing about Predaking that I absolutely hated back in the day was his head, and this is giving me an actual robot head that looks phenomenal at 12 inches. I don't mind adding this to my collection, to be honest with you. I might have room somewhere around here. I might have to move a bed or two, and I don't know if my girlfriend's going to want me to do that, but that's what I'm probably going to do is do something like that with this right here. If it's in the budget, I would definitely like to get it. Predaking to me, I've always thought that he was just one of the best combiners out there. He kind of did his own thing. He was really strong. He was brutal. He was a brute, and he's dope. And this right here with the changes to his head, I'm loving it 100%. I would get it.
Yeah, I love the fact that he lasted through not only just American G1, but also the Japanese G1 when you get into Transformer Zone, where he was one of those generals. But yeah, I definitely am loving it. If you're a character collector, this is definitely a no-brainer. If you're a like Sunbow scale kind of person, you're going to have to think about that. So,
yeah.
But let's continue on the Takara Love Train, and I've got this Rodimus Prime, the regular one, and this Lost Light one looks freaking amazing. I am all in. I'm like, do I buy another version which is going to transform the same? But that purple, that blue, I mean, this is sexy and it knows it. Here's a little bit closer kind of look of that. So, Eman, what do you think about Lost Light Rodimus? This is not Shattered Glass. Everyone, I want to just clear that up. Shattered Glass is different. This is, Enemy Lost Light. was an IDW book, and I don't know, Eman, if you want to just school us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually waiting to hear.
Yeah. So what are
I
your thoughts?
know nothing about Lost Light. I have zero knowledge on this, but I will tell you this: blue and purple. Matter of fact, that specific blue and purple is actually kind of like my logo color. So I'm all about this right here. Matter of fact, if I can go ahead and switch that, I would never do this, but I think just for this specific one, if I can switch that logo out, and just place my logo there, I think that would just make it even better. However, this right here just screams like anime Rodimus Prime mixed in with some Gundam in it. I'm loving this one right here 100%. This thing looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it's so freaking IDW. I think you should 3D print ahead of your logo and put it on there. That would be
Done.
cool.
I like that one even better. Yeah, I love the colorway on this one right here. I don't really collect Rodimus, but the I saw the red and orange version, like the original color version of this. I thought it was dope, but seeing this one right here, I'm like, man, that's sexy. That's beautiful. Hey, can I
Now,
go
Billy,
to
you have a soft spot for Rodimus and Hot Rod.
So Rodimus and Hot Rod, obviously it's the same character, but that's my favorite Autobot ever. Period. Like,
what's up, Chris?
it is the best character development Gen 1 ever gave us. And I grew up with Hot Rod. Like, that's him. That's me. That's my guy. I think this is beautiful. I want it, but I don't know where to put it in my collection. You know, you keep hyping the damn figure up, which is even worse for me. I love this. This is perfection in my eyes. Chris, how you doing, bud? I know Derek, Jimmy just shouted you out. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, this is beautiful. This is one of those pieces. This could be a centerpiece on anybody's shelf.
Yeah.
I have like a bunch of shattered glass Optimus Primes right back here. I would totally add him to that shelf right there, just because of the colorway, honestly.
Yeah, it would still look good with shattered glass. But yeah, Lost Light, I looked up a little bit about it. They were looking, I mean, it's still an Autobot good guy type of thing, but IDW, I kind of just glossed over IDW when it kind of came out. There were some good stories. There were a lot of really bad stories on that. So.
I think we would need autocorrect Primer on for a show in regards to that. He's my comic book guru. But listen, the C-list villains here says Hot Rod to Rodimus from Fierro to Winnebago. Listen, I'm a Spaceballs guy. I know the importance of a Winnebago and what they can truly do. So,
absolutely.
That's my boy Red. I asked him to do PG-13 version of him today, so let's not try. Don't cancel yourself out today for the love of God.
That's it.
He won't. He's playing it safe. I'm watching the chat.
Yeah. So don't worry, Billy. Maybe for Christmas, Santa Claus will bring you one of these because you do. I'm telling you, this AMT Hot Rod was freaking amazing. So. And then we got Zoids crossover. Zoids, and this is the first of many Zoids crossover with Takara. Looks friggin' cool. Eman, did you ever play with Zoids, or what do you think about Zoids?
I did watch the cartoons. I had some Zoids growing up, and I've kind of played with my Transformers, and then looked at the Zoids, like the Transformers, like these Zoids actually. They look pretty dope. I'm like, oh no, but my loyalty to Transformer. But you're pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to hold on to you over here. And this right here looks pretty dope. I really do like that Optimus head and the Optimus colorway, this crossover with Optimus. I'm digging. I know there's a whole lot of Optimus crossovers out there in the world, and I might just be adding this one right here too.
Yeah.
I'm with Eman on this. I think this is the best crossover that they've handled yet. It's a perfect respect to Zoids with just enough Transformers to make it what it needs to be. If they handle the entire line like this, I think it would be an absolute success.
Oh yeah.
Like this is so well done. It's a beautiful blend. I wish that they did Star Wars like this and all the other little crossovers because this is just awesome.
This is called crossovers done right. I mean, just like when you looked at like the Star Wars crossovers, those were bad.
They were horrible.
Yeah, the only other ones that I really enjoyed was the Ecto one and the Agent Knight Rider one, and even then they had some issues. But this just looks This looks like what it needs to be. Same with the Robotech Macross. I think they just kind of just marry themselves to being a good crossover.
If they screw up Airwolf, I boycott.
That would be a dope one right there too.
100%
Yeah,
agree. A little closer shot, of course, you can see that Vortex, which I'm excited to see more of that Bruticus, that Age of the Primes Bruticus they're going to be releasing. That Skybite looks really cool. But yet we're getting another Missing Link 2-pack, which is the more animation accurate Cliffjumper and Bumblebee. I don't have a closer look at it. This one's probably going to be a pass for me, but just because I do like I already have the regular Missing Link, and they are expensive, so I don't see myself double dipping on this one. But that Prime's still on the left. I will be getting that one. And of course there's Triptychon there. So what are your thoughts on this little shot of this booth here, and any of them that you're going to get? I know Billy, you're excited about Skybite.
I'm Skybite all day, and I think Vortex has done very well. I'm a little upset with Takara for doing a tune accurate two pack. I don't know. Like, I feel like that whole line should really just focus on updating the figures and worrying about the original toy versions. Like,
Yeah.
That's just how I look at that. So, and I'm just going to jump in real quick. The Top Gun Transformers crossover, Red. I loved what they thought of doing, but the plastic on my copy was so horrible that I actually sent it back. Eman, what are your thoughts, brother?
You know what? The articulation of the OG Cliffjumper and Bumblebee. I have like a OG Bumblebee, and I'm like, yeah, man, it'd be nice to have some articulation. And I like the idea of them doing the Missing Link stuff to bring back the original looking molds, but then you can actually pose them. I think it's dope. I think it's great for the collectors. Anyone who is an OG G1 fan, right there, I think you should just pick it up right there, man. Great for the Instagram, postings right there.
There we go. Absolutely. And then here is the MPG hauler that we've got a shot of. So Masterpiece. It's like, they said that Masterpiece was done, that they weren't doing the Masterpiece, but they transformed it to the MPG line. And here we got a shot of the hauler. And then right next to it, we have the shot of Devastator, kind of all combined with a couple of the bots. And we're going to talk about one of those bots here in just a little bit. But I'm not going to get this guy. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him. But if you are, more power to you.
Eman, what do you think of him?
It's confusing to me. Looking at this image right here, it makes me believe, like, wait a minute, Hauler's part of the Constructicons. Where does he fit? Is he the body? Is that the torso? Like, it throws me off right there. So I'm not a real fan of that colorway. I was really never a big fan of Hauler. I did like how he ended up rescuing Optimus and G1 when he went over to the side. I'm like, all right, so you're all right in my eyes. But the way the company set this up right here makes it look like he's a part of the Constructicons, and like it kind of throws off the whole size between him and Devastator. So it makes me wonder, like, where does he fit? And it's just like, oh god, another bot that I have to go buy.
Yeah. And Billy, excuse Billy if he freezes. He's having some high winds, and so he's frozen in a retrospective kind of pose right now on that. But
He's
anyway,
wondering if he likes the Hauler also. Look at him. I don't know. This is I'm kind of wondering how this mold may fit into my backgrounds there.
that's
And
it.
we lost him.
There he
I'm
is.
back. I'm back. I'm going to jump in if you don't mind with that hauler. That's not a buy for me, but that mold is easily one of my top 5 masterpiece figures. That mold is just fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. Bing Bong Toys, thank you for the super chat there, right there. But saying, greetings from Kentucky, gentlemen. Have you guys heard anything about Star Convoy? My pre-order says September. I thought it was May. Haven't heard anything on that.
Yep.
I am gonna say it's probably still gonna be September when we're gonna see that. If it comes out any earlier, I think right now what we're seeing is a lot of wait and see what's happening in China and things like that with everything that's politically going on, which we will not get into. But thank you again, Bing Bong, for the super chat there, my friend.
This is what I would recommend to Bing Bong. This is what I would recommend, right? Put in your deposit. If they ask for more money, send the money and just let it happen. Don't sit on it. Don't wait on it. It's going to make days go by so much slower. Go enjoy the world. Go touch some grass. Read a comic book. Go to Hawaii. And then when you come back, all of a sudden you may get a package that just mysteriously shows up on your front porch. And it's like, look what showed up. Look at it like that. Just kind of like set it and forget it. Don't worry about release dates.
It's Christmas. Yes, absolutely. Zane Bono, what's happening, dude? But like I said, we're going to get into really, really quickly the next Constructicon that they announced of the Studio Series 86, and that is Mixmaster. So here are the three, the robot, the alt mode, and then the leg mode. Let me just show you, we'll just show a few comparisons here. Here he is with Combiner Wars. From a robot mode, from an alt mode, and from the leg mode. And I, believe it or not, I actually like the Studio Series one better. Even though he's smaller, I do like his look. It looks like that leg articulation is going to be a lot more. There's going to be a lot more bend in that. But he actually looks really, really good. So thoughts, man, are you getting the Studio Series 86 Constructicons? And what are your thoughts on Mixmaster here?
I start collecting very bright Transformers, I will be kicked out of this house. So I'm gonna have to say no unless I can sneak into my office. And then at that point, then yeah, for sure. I do want to collect the Studio City Series Constructicons. I don't have any Devastator, and I do enjoy combiners. I really, really do love the whole idea of multiple robots transforming into their own mode and then combining into one bigger mode. I'm gonna have to get this, and if I get this, it's going to be for my office, at work, because like I said, if she finds out, I'm out of here. It's not. I'm selling my robots to just fund like my Airbnb for a month until I find a whole new house. It's just can't do it.
There you go. Billy's got his legend scale, new age.
Look at
So
that.
that's all I need. I think it's nice. I think it's the improvements that we needed, but they're not going to top this. I mean, the New Age Devastator looks like he jumped right off the screen. It is as Sunbow accurate as you're ever going to get. So I have no need for this. I do think it is the Devastator and Mixmaster, especially, that we all deserve from Hasbro. Because the Combiner Wars one, or not Combiner Wars, was it Combiner Wars?
It was Combiner Wars.
Yeah, that one just didn't do anything right. And this looks to be perfect. So I will give Hasbro the kudos, but I'm going to stick with my New Age.
No worries. New Age and Eman, we'll get you into Legends. And then we got this little bit of news of whatever you think. I don't care what y'all think of Prime versus Prime. We're not here to get into that. But this is from the rumor mill of what Studio Series 86 Megatron may look like. That he's mostly all gray plastic with a very pale painted gray face. The back is immaculate. If it wasn't for some very vague tread detailing on the legs, you'd never even know he transformed into a tank. So we know he's going to be a tank. He includes the sword he used to slash Prime in the movie, his back gun barrel, and himself as a Walther P-38. So some news. We haven't seen Studio Series 86 Megatron yet, but here's some news. And what are your thoughts of the speculation of what Megatron's going to look like?
So this now this noob. Okay, so noob here, if you don't mind. Studio Series, is this supposed to be like cartoon movie accurate? Is that what that means?
Yes, the Studio Series 86 line is supposed to be cartoon movie accurate.
Okay, so for a person who watched the 86 movie religiously once a month, and if he looks like Megatron in robot mode, dope. He transforms into a tank. It confuses me. I have ADHD. It's gonna throw me off. I don't know what's going on here. But if he has that gun as his gun, then kudos. I like the idea. I like them saying we're not going to forget the OG fans. We just can't do guns nowadays because people are dumb. But I will go ahead and give you the gun for him to use as his, weapon of choice. And I love that nod to the fans. I think that's fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah. Billy.
I'm excited to see it. I'm upset as to who's showing it off.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to say it. I'm really, really excited to see what they deliver. I have high hopes. I understand that we'll never get him as a gun again, and I agree with Eman that if the gun coming as like an accessory is their way of respecting us and showing us that homage, I'm cool with it. Let's see what they do. Let's see how they pull it off.
Yeah, I am too. So hopefully we'll get some news from Hasbro soon on that. So
Now, there were a lot of people talking about this Devastator. I just have
yeah,
to go back to the chat.
let's talk
Um,
about it.
So autocorrect primer says he's still waiting on his from New Age. I know you purchased from Show's store using a specific reviewer code, so thank you. Um, Unfortunately, he's part of a reissue. I don't know if that reissue has released in China yet, but I know it's coming. TF Arc Legends over here is stating that New Age Devastator holds together like no other. Solid. I agree, man. Like you can do whatever you want and nothing happens to this figure. It's amazing. DevCon's getting his at TFCon from the Chosen Prime, 300 for the complete set. Super excited. Um, you know, that's that. I just little things in there about people talking about how good this figure
I
is.
mean,
It is amazing.
it was
What's
the
that?
first combiner, right? It was the Devastator was the first combiner. It's the one that everyone fell in love with as a kid.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
that's great. I've got the New Age end of the road version and then the Magic Square G1 version on it. So both of them are really good. Magic Square is a pain in the butt to combine, but once you get it there, it looks really great. So Skybound, we get into some comic books. So if you're into spoilers, this might have some minor spoilery things. So issue 21 is right. If it hasn't come out yet, it is out. But there are the covers. Love this center. I love what they're doing with Megatron with Laserbeak as his eyes,
Yep.
which is so friggin' cool. But these are two of the covers that I really think look really, really good. And then I want to show y'all just a sneak peek at the number 23 covers of the three of my favorite. There's that Superion in the back. I want to know what happened with his other arm, with his arms. Optimus Prime. There's that Ultra Magnus cover. So looks really good. And then one more. This is the Void Rivals. Getting ready to come out with Springer. I love the Springer Hot Rod arc that's going on in Void Rivals, and I want action figures of Void Rivals. Look at that one on the right. We need an action figure of that. So Skybound. So Eamon, this is your world here, man. So what are you thinking of these covers? Which ones? What are you? Do you love the Skybound series? What are your thoughts?
So I'm in the comic book world, right? And I've been doing comic book podcasting with my buddies over there at the C-List Villains podcast, or right is in here. And I've honestly stopped trying to find other comics to read because I am now 100% into the Energon universe, which the Transformers are a part of. Issues 19, issues 20, everything about the Transformer comic book, I love 100%. The direction it's going in. We're not dealing with so many humans. We're not dealing with too much of a human element
Yep.
now. I'm loving it. Jorge Corona and DWJ Daniel Warren Johnson have hit the mark with their art in this. Daniel Warren Johnson's writing with Transformers phenomenal. These covers look great. The spoilery part of showing me Superion messed it up to see what was coming up, but it's okay because I'm like, well, which combiner are the Autobots going to get? And that has answered that question. Decepticons have Bruticus and Devastator. Now the Autobots have Superion. I'm looking forward to reading this with Cobra Commander showing up, because if you're reading G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander is the one who's after all of the Energon himself. So this whole twisted world of the Energon universe with Void Rivals, it's all coming together because there's going to be a Void Rivals G.I. Joe crossover book coming out soon. So this is just showing you guys the world of Transformers in comics, and it's huge. It's fantastic, phenomenal, great read. And Laserbeak as Megatron's eyes is like one of the coolest things that I've seen in this book.
Yeah. Polly's Hideout has a great question. I took a break from Transformers comic books, but getting back, question: why did Megatron decide to kill Astro Train instead of Starscream? I thought Starscream's betrayal must have been worse?
I don't know. I've been kind of wondering that too. I believe it's more along the lines of like he can control Starscream more, and in the comics,
Mhm.
Astro Train was more of like a brute pit bull, just out. He had no rules. He was, like I said, the pit bull of the comic at the moment. So getting rid of Astro Train made more sense because he could possibly overpower Megatron, especially since Megatron doesn't have his vision there, and he still has mental control. It's just almost quite PTSD on Starscream's end, but he has mental control over Starscream. So I think that's why he would keep Starscream around
Yeah.
because he could do all the grunt work.
And again, sorry for any minor spoilers y'all are hearing right now, but you know what? It's been
You
out
should
for a
be
little
caught
bit.
up.
So
Should have been
I,
reading it.
I don't think it could have been said any better. I think you hit the nail on the head with the
Yep.
reasoning.
Yep.
So listen, I have an important question. What is this Jetfire jam piece?
Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it. If you guys want to talk about it now, I could, but I have a Jetfire jam piece that I started. John Jang is a big time cover artist in the comic book world, and he actually has it right now because he's doing a jam piece on it. I have probably 7 or 8 different Jetfire heads from different artists on this Void Rivals blank. And if I had it right now, I would show it. But unfortunately, our friend John Jang, the artist, actually has it in his hands right now. I'm waiting for that thing to come back.
All
Now,
right, so we'll do another show.
yeah. Now, Eamon, do you have next to you that number 19 big time collectibles that you can show this really quick?
Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and show this right here to you guys.
So autocorrect primer states free comic book day Transformers had mask in it, which I did not know. That is
It
awesome.
did.
It did. Matt
Tracker. Tracker was in it, so now we have Mask involved in the Energon universe, and it just that fulfills like a childhood dream, really, because a lot of kids are like, "Well, these cars transform. Why don't they mix in with Transformers?" And yeah, they did it. Talking about the Transformers number 18 right here. This is the breast cancer awareness fundraiser by Big Time Collectibles. This is art by John Jang. The cover art is from John Jang, and Big Time Collectibles and Comic Capsule, which create these beautiful comic book protectors, got together with John Jang to release this special cover to help raise funds for breast cancer awareness. And in that right there is this beautiful cover of RC by John Jang right here, wrapped in a comic capsule. And this is purchased for $60 on Big Time Collectibles website.
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
Yeah.
Police Hideout thanks you for taking the time to answer his question, which is awesome. And we agree. Everybody's pretty happy that this Megatron is powerful and scary and exactly what we want.
He
I
needs
need
be
to
that
really
way.
quickly say hello to New York Hunter, longtime follower, longtime member, has been on the show. Really good to have you here. It's been a wonderful show. Uh,
Absolutely. And John Jiang, I would say, from a comic book artist, does one of the best jobs at drawing Transformers.
Yep.
From like a comic book cover artist, I would 100% agree.
I have like a wall of John Jane covers like right behind me. I have probably like 8 or 9 John Jane covers right behind me, just chilling.
Nice. So we got Blockies had some more news. We talked a little bit about Blockies yet last week and their sound wave that they showed off, but let's show off the Galaxy Defender season 3 or version 3. I got a video for y'all, so here we go. So there it is. Blockies. This is the year of non-transforming Transformers with Blockies, Yellow Park, and Aldi's and 3-0. Everyone that has some really, really great stuff. I remember when they first started coming out with the red line, they weren't that great. But now we've got some really good ones. This is version 3. This is the cute kind of like chibi style. These are really, really great to do. Eamon, do you have any blockies? Are you into blockies? Are you looking forward to blockies? Now, what I love is this is going to complete the Constructicons, but I got some news about that here in just a little bit.
Can't wait to hear. I do have one Blockies RC that I put together that I found at a comic shop not too long ago, and I was like, "Well, what's this?" And I bought it for like $15. I was like, "Why not?" You know, it's RC. You know, I named my daughter RC, so I was like, "I need to get this right here." Put her together. She's tiny, but I really like how easy the Blockies models are. Seeing these chibi ones right here, they're kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind putting these like right here on my desk. I'm digging these. I may pick these up because they're cheap and I don't have to move, beds around. And I'm pretty sure my girlfriend will kick me out if I buy them.
Sounds like you need to go to the Legends world, is what it sounds like. If we're
Legends, yes, yes.
We'll talk about that because I'm still confused. Legends and New Age and Voyager. I don't know any class. I'm just gonna get what I get, and if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, I'm moving out. That's what's.
You kind of sound like my buddy Autocorrect Primer. Autocorrect Primer collects anything as long as he likes it. He does not care about scale, and to me, that's just amazing because I can't handle things being out of scale.
Yeah, and right now I don't. Scale doesn't matter yet, and I hope that it still continues on because I'll just get what I want. In the comic book world, we're just like, hey, look, collect what you like, and the same thing with the Transformer world. It should be that collect what you like. It doesn't match in scale. It's all right. Put it somewhere else, and have fun with it.
Yeah.
So Billy,
Blocky. I love this set simply because we have a hot rod. Let's put it like that. I just bought the new Transformers 1 set. I just picked that set up because my son loves them. But yeah, these are awesome. I'm super excited for the Devastator set to be completed. I'm sure you're about to bring up the news about the Devastator set.
Now,
so why don't we jump into that?
Yeah, here are the combiner parts that you'll need for Devastator. So each of the Defender series has each of the vehicles. So you have to collect Wave 1, Wave 2, and Wave 3 to get all of the Constructicon vehicles. But the combiner parts are separate. But news from Blockies. But there we go. First of all, let's take a look at that little shot right there.
Yeah,
very, very nice. And then
dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
and do they actually transform and combine into Devastator, or are those like 7 different items?
This is 7 different items. Well, all the vehicles are different. Then you got the robot versions, and then you got Devastator. But Blockies released this news that says, we are sorry for the inconvenience. We cannot sell in the U.S. because the copyright holder does not allow it. We are an official channel, so we must strictly abide by the requirements of the copyright holder. Thank you for your understanding. We will launch more products as much as possible with authorization, so stay tuned. So if you want to make Devastator and to buy these combiner parts, you're going to have to get them overseas. Shozi store had them on sale. They are sold out. So right now, your best bet is probably going to be like AliExpress or some of the other places. So, official, so they have to abide by copyright. And what's crazy is Transformers, there are people that are copyright holders of different characters. And so thoughts around this?
I'm not laughing at that. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Red's comment. Red, PG-13, please.
Yeah, I just had to put an LMFAO in there. It's disappointing for the U.S. retailers. Yeah. I feel bad for the people here that don't shop overseas at stores like Shozi or AliExpress or any of those places because they're not going to be able to complete their sets. With that being said, I do have a friend that bought many, I believe as many as Shozi would allow him to buy of this kit. So I think there's going to be a place in New York City where you'll be able to get this body.
Well, Billy, I may need some help from that friend.
Let me message him now.
I know a person in California that might want to pick up a set or 4 over there.
That's it.
So, yeah.
Does his name start with an E?
I believe so, yes. How'd you know? That's crazy.
Now, Eamon, you said you have a chibi style combiner. Do you have it with you right now? Or?
I have a chibi style combiner item that I would like to share with you guys. So hopefully cleanse the palate from this terrible news that we're getting right here. But this is comic book related right here. And I reached out to an artist and I asked him to commission a piece for me. I was like, hey, you know what? This specific combiner has nothing to do with any of the issues of the Transformer comic book I'm reading, but this is what I want. And he created a chibi style Predaking for me. And I was like, look, this is what I want. I want, because the artist does chibi style art. And I was like, I want your rendition of a Predaking with 5 robots behind your head. And it's Cycle, VF1.
I saw that. That looks so cool.
Yeah.
I do
Voltron
take
and
issue with
Voltez.
Voltron's head being back there, though. I do take issue with that.
Hey, hold on, but it is Predaking. He is a bad guy, right? He's a bad guy. So I got this one right here done, and it's in chibi style. And I was like, oh, this is phenomenal. I really got to share it with someone, and I think this is a great place to share it right here. So yeah, this is the chibi style right there that I'm really digging.
Now, Eman, I'm going to have to introduce you to Laser Cat, because if you want a chibi style Predaking, they're going to be your group.
Yep, that's it. It's over.
That's it. You know, I'm moving out soon. It's gonna happen.
All right, Billy, New Age.
My favorite company out there. Yeah, those are beautiful. those are beautiful. What's that? That's Cordon, and the other name's not coming to me.
Blue.
Huh? Blue?
Cordon Blue. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm like, blue streak? Wait a minute. There's no blue streak on there.
If you're in the chat and you know the name of the white one, please let us know.
I'm going to look them up right now. Grandpa Bill over here is.
But beautiful. I'm still waiting on my Sunstreaker. It is shipped.
Mine shipped a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I'm paying for it.
But so Eman, these are legend scale. So they're about 3.75 to 4 inches tall. What did we got there? Oh yeah, you got your.
So like one of these right here?
Yeah, about that size. Is that Magic Squares?
No, this is New Age right here.
New Age, okay.
This up. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I know that name. I'm not so dumb in the Transformer world.
So Eman, if you're going New Age, I mean, if you're going Legend Scale, there's 3 companies to look at: New Age, Magic Square, and Iron Factory. So
I have an Iron Factory Ultra Magnus back here. Actually, it's pretty dope.
Oh yeah, City Commander.
Yeah. City Commander
and
really sick.
Clamp Down.
Yes,
sounds right.
Yeah,
that's just beautiful, man. So well done. They're great.
Are you going to be double dipping and getting them?
No. They weren't in this, so they weren't on the screen in Gen 1.
That's true.
My collection is solely characters that appeared on screen. So, like, I didn't buy the Bug Bite set. Am I frozen again?
No.
Okay.
You're good. I'm sorry.
We're messing with you because we want to look for
it. This windstorm's killing me. Yeah, I won't buy a character if they weren't on screen. I don't even care if it was like 1 second in season 3 where they were on screen and then they were destroyed. So long as they had screen time, they're in my collection. If not, they're not in the collection. It's just the way
it sounds to me that you're the one limiting Billy from enjoying life at this very moment.
No. So my son gets every single Chug figure I buy. So my Chug figures that I review, if I've reviewed it, they all go to my son. Doesn't matter how rare it is. None of that matters. It's to instill his love of the figures. So if they did like a Hasbro version of these, I'd probably buy them to review them, and then they just go to him.
Yeah. Nice. Night Wingstan just said he just did his first live. Congratulations. That's always a tough one, doing your very first live, because you don't know what's going to happen, who's going to show up. So congrats, my friend.
That's my boy Flo right there. He's actually a big influence on my YouTube channel. Big Flo over there at White Nightwing Stand. Yeah, that's
Cordon and Spin Out is their G1 names. I know Zane Bono would come through. So
there it is.
Mechanical Shell Studio. They've been doing the Armada characters, and so we've got one right here. Good old Ramjet, I believe. Armada Ramjet. So again, it's based off that Starscream mold. That Starscream mold looked great if you're an Armada Transformers guy and you're a love Legend scale or you want smaller figures. This is the way to go. So, Billy.
I love it. I love this company. I wish they would put their figures out quicker. because their Starscream was one of my figures of the year whenever they released it. I'm looking very forward to seeing this. The colors are vibrant, they're bright, they're everything I'd want from this mold. I hope it holds together as well as the first release. I don't know what mold degradation does to this company yet. I don't know if we're going to have a loose copy. So this is going to be, I guess, their sophomore release.
Yep.
And this is going to be that figure that makes me decide if I'm going to stick with them or not.
Yeah, Eman, what do you think? Were you an Armada fan?
I'm actually going through the Unicron trilogy right now while watching it all over again. And I'm like, let's go ahead and enjoy watching this TV show. And I'm like, oh my God, now I know why I hate it. It's the children element of it, But the figures are dope. I'm digging this right here a lot. I did like Starscream's mold in the Armada world, and this looks small. This looks like one of these little guys that I should really be collecting right here. And I'm digging this right here, different colorway. I'd actually pick this up.
Yeah, very Macross looking too.
Very much so. Yeah.
It's legend scale, so you're right, like 3.5 inches. Zane Bono, it's Ramjet, so that's who it is.
Yep.
And you'll love it. The Starscream is so good, so articulated. It was one of those figures that just surprised me in every aspect, and I can't see this one letting me down at all.
Absolutely. So, and then Craftsman Toys, just another little sneak peek of their Computron. This is a legend scale Computron, about that same size as that Devastator that Billy showed off a little bit earlier. We have already got we need the rest of it. So Craftsman Toys, what are you waiting for? Give us Computron. So on that buddy. So Billy, Eman, are you a Computron fan? I know Billy. Now this, what was it? That figure right there was pretty damn good. I mean, it was almost one of my figures of the year on that. So, but yeah, what are your thoughts?
Let's let Eman go first because I'm going to rant.
I never liked Computron. I never liked Computron. I hated the way he talked in the cartoon. I never was a fan of this guy right here. I don't want to speak ill to all the people who actually enjoyed Computron, so I'm going to end it right there. The figure looks cool. I wouldn't add it, though.
Yeah. No worries.
I'm going to just bring up autocorrect primer, and I'm going to state it. I can't wait to get this set. I'm so happy that Craftsman Toys decided to just finish this set with 2-packs. Right? They're just like, screw it. Let's just get them out.
Yeah.
That nose cone was such a pleasant surprise. He made my top 10 list. And this was a company that I'd never messed with any of their figures before. And out came nothing but quality. So this, I already know if it's even like 3/4 of the quality as their nose cone, that this is going to be a home run. So I can't wait for it. I hope there's a little bit more color with the bot mode, like this combined chest and face. Like it seems a little plain, but all in all, I think this is going to be fantastic, and I really can't wait for it. There's no other way to put it.
Yep. No worries. Eamon's not a fan, but that's okay. You collect what you love.
Exactly.
And Robot Toys, which is the only friggin' company really right now doing Beast Wars besides Iron Factory. And here we've got Rabbit.
Can't wait. I can hear him speaking. I can just hear that. Is that fear you're feeling, Maximal? I can hear it. I love it. I can't wait. They had a Shocker Act. Do you have the picture of it in the Shocker Act color scheme too that they released?
Oh, I don't have that. No.
Oh, yeah. So you've got the Rampage colors, which obviously we're buying. There's no question that that's not bought. I pre-ordered it the second it went live. But they also have a Shocker Act color scheme that they've already shown off. So this is going to be cool. I'd imagine he's going to be a little bit bigger. I think he might be closer to their Megatron's size, which is fine. Their Tigatron, that's coming soon. This company, I'm so excited for. I'm praying that they release the rest of the Transmetals because season 2 is my favorite part of Beast Wars, and I sold off all my Masterpiece Beast Wars. So to be able to get them back in this scale, it's over. Like, it's over. It's done. Like, here you go. Take my money, and let's do it. Eman, are you a Beast Wars guy?
I am not a Beast Wars guy. I'm
Oh,
not
he's
a Beast
kicked. How do
Wars
I
or
kick him?
Beast Machines. Hold on, hold on. Let me give you the bad stuff first. I'm not a collector of the Beast Wars and Beast Machines of how I do. I recognize that Beast Wars was probably the best storytelling out there with regards to Transformers. So the storytelling in Beast Wars, phenomenal. Would I collect any of their toys? Not for me, to be honest with you. The only other show I think had better, or not better, but just as good, or just a little bit, just a little under, as far as storytelling goes, was Prime, and I really
Yeah,
enjoyed Prime storytelling. But Beast Wars had the best story. It's just for me, not my favorite type of Transformers.
gotcha.
Don't
Yeah,
worry.
easily
Everyone
the
has
best
the right to be
storytelling.
wrong. I mean, it's okay.
Wait. So I'm wrong about it being the worst story? I don't know, Billy. You're hosting with this guy right here, and he's talking, speaking ill. He's speaking ill about this right here. I don't know what we're gonna do about that.
So let's continue talking. Whoa, I'm about to put the countdown back. So I'm
What?
hitting all sorts of buttons, man. I am hitting all sorts of buttons. I was offended. No, I'm just kidding. So, but really, what I want to get into now is let's just have some fun because I know, Eman, you are new to third party. So, what got you into third party figures? Because you
Oh man.
you like were mainline, and you first of all you did comic books, and then but Transformers was your first love, and you were
Yep.
mainline Hasbro. Then all of a sudden someone introduced you. What was that gateway drug into third party, and what happened?
So in 2020, I went to the Las Vegas Toy Show, and there I met a couple of people in the Transformers community. I'm like, dude, these look amazing. I know nothing about that. They had the stand, and they had all these figures, and they were familiar looking G1 figures. But I'm like, I've never seen this. What is this? And they spent time talking to me about third party figures. Their names are Carl and Tim. They're in the Transformers community.
Yes.
Wonderful guys. You
Oh,
guys,
I
if
know Carl and Tim. They're the
you guys
greatest.
they're oh, okay, okay, cool. Well,
Yeah.
it's just, well, we're we're on a first name basis ourselves.
First name basis, baby. Tim is the reason this show exists. So let
Tim is the reason why I ended up starting to collect third party figures. Matter of fact, he introduced me to his Transformer Underground Facebook page,
yep.
and he's like, "Yeah, dude, join it." We have like these raffles and stuff like that. So like the very first raffle that I actually joined, I won.
Oh,
And
really? Nice.
and he's like, "Hey man, you get a choice of X, Y, and Z." I'm like, "Oh shit, that guy looks like Optimus. Let me get that right there." And he was like, "Oh, it's masterpiece. It's one of the most wonderful things you can transform. It looks great." I'm like, I don't care those are words that I don't understand what you're saying, but just send it over to me, right?" So I ended up getting the TP01
Yep.
leader one, something like that, right? And I was like, "Oh my god, dude, this thing is solid."
Yeah.
It took me like 3 hours to transform it because I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing with this, but this is beautiful. And so from then on, I'm like, I need to know more about this. So it this is what I love about third parties, right? And I don't think anyone's really mentioned it. Back in the day, transforming a transformer was almost like don't forget the instructions. We're gonna figure this out on our own. This is the puzzle piece that we want to put together. As I got older and realized, like, dude, these things are a lot more intricate, more delicate. Like, this is like a bigger adult puzzle piece that I want to put together. That's how I felt like when I started transforming the third party. I'm like, these things are dope.
Yeah.
I need to research. And down the rabbit hole I went. I'm like, oh my God, there's a whole world of this.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, okay, hold on. I need to step away because these are expensive, right? And then last year, I picked up a Magic Square SGO1, the Shattered Glass Optimus. I picked up the
Yeah.
White Optimus. And it goes good with that TP01. And I'm like, I better not. No. And then just the other day, I ordered, you know what? No, I'm just going to get the Magic Square Nemesis Prime because now I need that one part of the collection right there. So I went down the rabbit hole. And it's all thanks to Tim and Carl, and we are going to blame them for the reason
Yeah.
why my children do not have peas and carrots for dinner and brand new unholy socks.
So
They're the reasons why my children don't have shoes.
Tim is the reason I'm into Legends as well. By far, I was a Masterpiece guy, like only Masterpiece. And I had won some Legends figures from him, and I said, "Oh, it's over." They scale so well with my Unicron back here, and yeah, That's that. I just want to say real quick, we just got B BV Universe Official says greetings from Indonesia. So yeah, man. Amen to that. I also collect Transformers, but so far I only have 3 Blockies or Blokies. Um, Welcome to the
Welcome.
insanity. Blockies are the greatest things in the world. Eman is going to show us some of those toys later.
Yeah,
Um,
here, hold on here.
DevCon Studios. I only have 2 third-party bots so far. Wait until you fall into this hole. They are third. Listen, I love Hasbro. I do. I mean, I grew up with Gen 1 Transformers, as a kid growing up. My favorite movie was Maximum Overdrive. They did not make toys for that movie, but they made Transformers that I was able to get trucks and play with them and let my imagination go wild. And I fell in love with them. So Hasbro, I love them, but they're limited. They've got regulations and rules that they have to follow to keep the toys safe and to keep them, a certain way and keep profit shareholders happy and all that garbage. And they're held back. And third party doesn't have to worry about those things. So we get these amazing figures from third party that I love. I love them just as much as the officials. So you can have both. It's all good. You're not hurting anyone because by keeping third party alive, Hasbro also has free research and development. I mean, there are things going on in the world of Transformers today that are only possible because they use the designs from other companies. It's good. It's a good thing that we have going right now.
I mean, good artists copy, great artists. I mean, good artists create, great artists copy and steal.
And
So,
that's what that was the whole thing about it, right? I mean, I think Hasbro, Takara, Tomy, well, the main guys right there. That's what they're doing. That's why they're keeping the third parties alive. They're like, you know what? Let's see what they're doing, copy them because that's our property right there, and then sell it. Or let's go ahead and make a deal with them. Maybe there's a back end deal that we don't know about. That's the reason why everything's staying alive. I mean, maybe like even licensing these, be like, hey, look, we'll allow you to continue doing it. You can sell more. However, there's going to be a licensing fee, but it might be worth it because they're doing it better than Hasbro is. So
yeah,
I like it. I'm digging it.
Autocorrect Primer brought up, I think when Jimmy was away, he was a guest host that I had on, and he brought up the same thing with licensing out those figures. Like they could be making so much money licensing them out to these third-party companies. We've had a couple comments. DevCon Studios brought up that he plans to get the fans hobby, Double Evil, New Age Devastator, Magnus, and now that Armada. That Armada figure is not New Age. What was the name of that company that did serious?
Mechanical Skull Studio or something like that?
Yes, that's it. Mechanical Skull Studio. And then Craft Collectors. Craft Collects. MP Collection is third party heavy. Chuck has a handful peppered in for movie representation. Yeah. I mean, once I fell in that third party rabbit hole, it was pretty easy to just say, you know what? These, as an adult collector, are what suits me. But again, I've got a 6-year-old son that he gets plenty of chug and it keeps the dream alive. Simple as that.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what's great about this world we live in, right? So,
yeah. We're very lucky right now as collectors.
That's one thing that I mentioned before in the video that I put is that, chug is what got kids into playing with toys back in the day, right? There's just not enough of that. If us collectors can just continue supporting Hasbro by getting those chug toys for our kids, allow that to happen. Let these kids nowadays with YouTube, kids can create actual videos that we couldn't do back in 84, 85, 86. Kids nowadays can create their own videos with these toys and they might be entertaining as all hell. Do it, collect it, get the chug for the kids. I'm all good with that. Us adults, yeah, stick with the third party, but just make sure you keep the Transformer collecting dream alive. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. So what third party figures? You said you got Optimus, and so he's your favorite character. You're a character collector, pretty much, I assume.
I have to be, and I can't afford to get everything, man. Like I'm seeing everyone else's collection, like I don't have that kind of money. I have comic books, I have kids. keys, shoes, they have to be provided in the household, right? But like the four main that I do collect, and there's a reasoning for it, but the four main that I do collect is Optimus, Ultra Magnus, Bumblebee, and RC. I'm Prime. I'm the leader of my family. My second in command, my oldest son, that's my Ultra Magnus. So I collect these figures because they represent my kids. My son loved Bumblebee. He loved Bumblebee in the movies, in the Bayverse movies. I'm like, all right, you're my Bumblebee, you're my little guy. So he's my little scout. And then my daughter's name is RC. I named her RC. It's spelled ARCE. I'm a dork. I am a geek father who named his child after a transformer. And this right here, I bought 3 of these. She has one of them. There's a reason for it. So yes, I am a collector of specific ones only for 2 reasons. One, because they represent my children, and two, I just don't have the money for everything else. That's really it.
That's the truth. I mean, you can go down the rabbit hole and go into some serious heavy debt as well. And then if you're in the chat, feel free to ask any questions that you want to. And then Eman, you said you're new to third party. And you're new to kind of doing Transformer reviews. And I watched your channel, and I've seen a lot that you've done with comic books, with Comic Cons. And honestly, folks, if you're not subscribed to Eman's World of Geek, you should be, because when I saw your subscriber count, I was like, that's not possible, because your stuff is amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. The production value, the what you provide us in regards to information, and it's personable. Like, you can sit there and be like, you know what, I could totally just hang out with this guy and have a great day and know it. So definitely we got to get that count out.
Thank you so much. I do put a lot of work into my videos. I it's just something that I really enjoy doing. I doing the podcast with my friends, I realized I'm one of the few people in this world that actually enjoys editing. Like, I didn't think I was going to enjoy editing, so I really try to do, edit my videos, and I have a look, and I'm learning and whatnot, but I still want to talk about the stuff that I want to talk about. And friends of mine in the comic book community, they're like, we see the passion you have for Transformers, man. Why don't you just do that? It's okay. We're not going to leave you. Yeah. Don't leave me, please, for the love of God, right? It was so hard to make friends, but talking about the Transformers and all the toys that I have, and the stories and the cons that I've been to, it's something that I really, really enjoy doing. So when I was like, let me start dabbling in my Transformers, let me see what I can do with this. And now I'm doing like photography for like Instagram too. So it's like there's these 2 worlds that I jumped into, and I'm like, oh, I do like doing this right here. I can do this. So when I realized that I could talk about the stuff that I really enjoy in front of a camera to myself and then put it out in the world, that was just kind of like, I need to do this as much as I can. Unfortunately, ADHD's got me, paralysis once in a while. So it's hard. Hitting record is hard, but when I do hit record, it's just like, it's on. So, thank you for that plug. It means a lot to me, because I feel like I put a lot of work into my videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Autocorrect Primer says his buddy's named his son Clark because their last name is Kent. Like, his buddy gets it. I love that. I just want to say, during this show, I broke 2,000. So
yeah.
So whoever that is, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's been a long time. That's all I'm gonna say.
Absolutely.
How long? Let me ask you this, Billy. I've been doing this for 6 years. How long did it take for you to finally hit 2,000?
Oh, dear Lord. So my channel, I'm gonna go to the last page. I think it's like 4 years, to be honest. But I was very adult themed, with a lot of bad words and, sometimes a very negative outlook on the figures. And the lack of growth was almost deserved, if that makes any sense. I didn't mature with my channel. And I've seen what I need to do, where I need to go, and it's been growing very steadily. My first review ever was 6 years ago. There I was thinking 4.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah, my first review ever was 6 years ago. So it took a long time to get here, but it's been growing ever since I realized, listen, pan to everybody, not just the grumpy old men that don't want kids in their front yard. You know.
See, and one thing, and I'm probably going to switch this up to like people who want to grow in this. And this is coming from a person who only has like less than 700 subscribers. But something that I've noticed is like 5 things if you want to start a YouTube channel about Transformers, comic books, gaming tech, anything like that. First of all, is know what you're talking about. Second of all, have passion about what you're talking about. Third of all, don't worry too much about aesthetics and lighting just yet. Just be you in front of the camera. Just hit record. But the most important thing is once you have the passion, once you have the knowledge, and you know what you want to talk about, consistency is the biggest thing. Stay consistent, you guys. Drop 2 videos a week, but be consistent about those 2 videos a week. If you have live shows, well, I don't want to say it on this one right here, but if you have live shows, engage with your audience. It is work, and it is something that you might want to look at as it's like an internship, an unpaid internship that you actually enjoy doing, because there's a lot of work involved, but do it because of the passion. Have the passion, have the knowledge, but be consistent. Those are the major things that you have to have if you want to grow in YouTube.
Absolutely. Knowledge is a part that I'm still working on. So
I'll tell you right now, if you want your channel to grow, work with Jimmy. That's what it did for me. So Zane is stating, if you want to introduce Eman to very affordable mech figures, and I agree with him. Just give me a second. Is the Mech Fans Toys? They do legend scale figures. I love them. They actually are who do all of my triple changers in my collection. And this here is the MFT Springer. It is so incredibly tune accurate. It is one of my absolute favorite figures. Look how clean this thing is. And he's roughly the size, a little bit bigger than a G.I. Joe.
Yeah, and I just got introduced to these legend class size, the one that I just showed you from New Age. I'm like, whoa, dude, these are dope. They small, lots of points of articulation. They look great. Transforms, just as difficult as like MP class, but it's fun to transform. I'm really like the New Age, and what was the one that we mentioned earlier? The
Magic Square.
No, Iron Factory. Iron Factory are 2 that I really enjoy. I like the Iron Factory myself because they have that mech look. They have that like Gundam Japanese anime look to them, and I love that also. So I don't, as much as I'm only collecting, those 4 main figures, I don't mind collecting different looking versions of those, just like that Macross crossover that we saw earlier today. Even though that's not Optimus, but it's got like an Optimus colorway with a slight variation to his head, I would totally get that because I love things that are quirky and out of the way like that. In anime, I grew up on anime, also watching Macross and Robotech. It's guys, it's Macross, not Robotech. Please, for the love of God. Okay. All right. Can we get the end that right there? And just like watching all the other different combiner Japanese animes, like Evangelion, even though they don't combine, Voltron, Dangayo, like all the robots that combine was my shit, my stuff. Sorry, I apologize.
You're good. We're at your time, love. You're good.
And seeing like the Transformer versions of those really get me excited. So like just things like that, man. That's what I like.
Man, if there was a Transformers Voltron crossover, I don't even know. Like, what they'd have to do, like Voltron 3, right? That was the one that was all like the Matchbox cars.
Yeah, well, you could still do. Yeah.
Voltron 3 was all the cars. It was the submarine, airplane, and the cars.
Yeah. Well,
Voltron.
Let me correct that.
Wait. You're right. Hold on. I stopped myself. Voltron 3.
1.
Yeah. Voltron 1 is the cars. Voltron 3 is the lines, and Voltron 2 are the stackable ones that went on top of each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what. See, I belong in this community. I know what I'm talking about.
That's it. And then the Voltron that never was Daltonius. So there we go. I'm trying to find a picture of this Chibi Predaking for you, so that way you can see it.
Yeah, you would absolutely love it. Maybe what we'll have to do is send you some samples to review of Legends and see what you think if you want to ship them back or something like that.
Dude, I would love to attempt to do that. Oh, this is fantastic. This is plastic and it has wheels. It's probably
no, I'm saying like some game changers is what I'm like. There's some figures out there that are great, but like the Magic Square Legends Optimus Prime version 2, is the best Optimus Prime ever made. Like,
Yeah.
like by far. They're, like New Age David's great. It's a great figure, but the Magic Square one's so damn good. It's actually what the Optimus Prime in the Energon universe, his designs are based off of. That's the model that the artist uses when doing all the work. Is this Magic Square Legends Prime?
Now, and this is what confuses me. Why are there different versions of the same figure from the same company? Why is it, the same size? Like you said, version 2. What's version? What's wrong with version 1? Why do I need to pick up version 2?
So ultimately, Legend started out as a really cheap way to have small transformers with poor articulation, just enough to get by. But you know what? You had a Hound and you had an Optimus, and they fit. There was something to fiddle about with, and almost overnight, these two companies, Magic Square and New Age, like revolutionized the game. And I think what they did, I think they saw where the prices were going in the Masterpiece world, is my assumption here. And they ultimately took this Masterpiece engineering and shrunk it into these little Legends figures. So their version 2s are just releases of main characters that really needed an upgrade from what they first released.
Okay.
There's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to explain it any different than that.
Okay.
Yeah, they just get better and they refine them and things like that. And then after a little bit, they, like there's the version 2, but then they'll do an EX version or something like that because they paint it or whatever it may be. But yeah, Magic Square Light of Victory 2.0 Prime is really plastic crack. So
Greetings from Comic Fan, just popping by to say hi, and GoBots were better.
all my comic book friends are starting to come in. GoBots are the best. Yeah. They know how
I always said the next HasLab, I want a GoBot command center that's just like freaking amazing and off the chain. So since Hasbro does own GoBots. So.
I want Magic Square to come out with a badass looking Crasher. Like that would be super sick to me. Crasher, that was her name, right? The black car.
Yep.
I want Magic Square to come out with like just an even better looking version of her.
So
that would be sick to me.
That's
the only GoBot that I liked.
You would probably get that from New Age. New Age is the company that really does like wonders with the repaints. Magic Square, for whatever reason, 90% of their figures are just the one color scheme. That's it. It's the cartoon color scheme. They might release a metallic release, or they might release a painted release, because most of their figures are unpainted. They're just this vinyl material. Whereas New Age will be like, all right, here's Jazz, and now here's every color scheme you can possibly imagine for Jazz, be it Diaclone colors, be it comic book colors. Like they did a whole Marvel Comics series of their figures where you get figures that literally look like they're the colors from the Marvel Comics that we grew up with.
Yeah.
So New Age would be the one that did that. And I think that she was done from a Mirage, right? That's the mold that Hasbro used for her. And I think what's going on, New Age, I think, is updating like their Mirage, their Prowl, like their older bots. We're going to get new versions with the better articulation.
The other company, probably Iron Factory, might be the other one too. That would do it.
Yeah.
Well, Magic Square kind of sticks G1 ish, and they don't deviate from that too much. Where they stick with like actual colors. Now Magic Square is delving into Masterpiece, though. So you've got their Masterpiece, Prime, Nemesis, Shattered Glass, and they're changing the game in that. I mean, Fans Toys owned Masterpiece forever. They did. But then Magic Square started coming out with theirs, and now their Combaticons, they're coming out with a very good price point and amazing articulation and amazing engineering. Fans Toys has got to watch out.
Oh, Magic Square is going to take over the Masterpiece game. There's no...
That may be unpopular. There's a lot of Fans Toys fans that may be unpopular, but I'm just saying.
I'm a Fans Toys fanboy.
Yeah.
I have that was it like I said, the TPO one. What is that from? Was that from Transform Element? That was
Yeah.
again, that was my first one right there. I like that one compared to Magic Square just because of how sturdy it is. However, there was a couple of pins that already fell out of that one right there. So now I'm like confused. Like, what do I want? Magic Square is great because their articulation is dope, right? It's super easy, but that transform, element, the one that I mentioned, like that one's sturdy. It just feels beefy. Is that the one? Is that you got?
This
Is
is
that the one?
this is Magic Square's Light of Peace
Uh-huh.
That,
masterpiece one.
that's a fantastic figure.
This is the best masterpiece prime that's out there right now. In my opinion,
Now
I'll
even
agree with
better
you.
than M44, MP44. Cartoon accurate, very nice, very good. G1 accurate, best figure, I believe, in my opinion. That is the case there. Now, when you get above masterpiece, then you've got like who is it? I just got him to MM01 Optimus Prime. So he's bigger. And then of course you've got Lewin Resources. You got Pengu Toys, which does the oversized of this guy. But Magic Square has two factories. One of them is dedicated to their Legend scale, and the other one's dedicated to their masterpiece scale. And
Now,
so after, yeah, go ahead.
no, go. I'm going to jump in here.
After they're done with their Combaticons, the rumor is, or actually it's more than a rumor, the next is their Dinobots. And so when they release those Masterpiece G1 Dinobots, dang.
Jeez, man. See,
So
rabbit hole.
they have finally figured out how to, or at least are close to get their tampos done. They were having an issue with the tampo applications due to the vinyl that they use. And that's why we don't have a smoke screen. Like there's certain characters that Magic Square has not released in Legend scale simply due to issues with the paint adhering to their vinyl material. But from what I've heard, they have been able to get that done right. So we should be seeing some really cool reveals soon from Magic Square. Now, I'm a New Age guy, but I would love to see them finish some characters just because their engineering is top notch.
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
top
yeah, yeah.
notch.
I just playing around with this guy the other night. I'm like, dude, he's
Now,
dope.
that's
Like, I
that's
really enjoy it.
David, right?
No,
New Age, David?
Octavian.
Octavian, yeah.
Yeah.
New Age.
Yeah,
New
so
Age.
that's New Age.
Yeah.
That's a great figure. I have that. That's my Ultra Magnus on display. However, I got to try to find a way to get you to see how to review a Magic Square Legends Prime because you're going to question your existence.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. That's the Magic Square Prime.
Look, I just spent money on
Now, show him the side chest piece so that he can see there's no double chest.
Yeah.
Like, look how clean that is.
Yeah. And that the whole double chest thing, like it looked a little. I don't know. I don't know what
It
you guys
was like you got
chat,
the axe in the wrong hands. I don't care.
Who cares?
Hey, it looks like you have a really good figure there. I don't know about that other person. I don't know if they're hating. You got something in your hands and they don't. That's what I'm hearing.
That's right. Hey, but what's great is there's, like you said, you're just new into this. I probably got into third party about 2 years ago when my YouTube channel first started. And my very first reviews were the Menasor. I did the Hasbro Legacy Menasor, and then I compared it to the Magic Square Menasor, and then compared it to the Tiger Wing oversized KO Menasor. And that took me a long time to film and a lot of frustration, about 3 bottles of whiskey. But that's what made me start falling in love with third party. I mean, it's just really cool. Like we talked about before, when I first heard about this, I thought of it as almost my comparison to third party versus first party was akin to the video store that had the beaded curtain in the back that maybe you're like, I don't know if I'm allowed to go back there. I don't know if this is right. And that's how I felt when third party came out. I was like, I don't know if this is right, if I should have it. Because as a kid, when I had third party, KO was just this thing in a little, for instance, it was like this. Came in a little plastic thing. I asked for Optimus Prime and you get, a transmorpher or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and
man.
Cheap. It was horrible, and your friends made fun of you. But now
it's literally the flea market transformer, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And so I have gone beyond the beaded curtain. I don't care what anybody else thinks. And then Pazel's in the house. But yeah, but I live in the world. I live with one foot in Hasbro. I live with one foot in third party. I am an all inclusive in diversity, and that's what's great about the Forge is we can talk about all of that.
Yep.
And that's what it's all
Amen.
about.
So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you don't know who Pazel is Collecticon Toys. Great online toy store. He usually gets stuff that you just can't find anywhere else. So definitely check out collecticontoys.com. It's a great little shop. Good guy, good store. Way to go. Autocorrect Primer also states the New Age Ultra Magnus is what he has on his display. I love the combined mode. I'm surprised you don't have him in combined with his armor.
Oh, I just combined him the other night. I did it because I wanted to like play around with it, just transform it and just kind of mess around with it. And then I was gonna do a video on how he does combine, from truck mode to everything. So I was like, all right, let me go ahead and figure out how this works. And holy crap, these things are not easy I admire those guys who transform these third parties in like a
Oh, yeah.
minute and 40-second, video, but I'm sure it took them 17 and a half hours to record it. But those guys are awesome.
So yeah, I don't show transformation of third party because you don't want to see me cut. Like I'm a family friendly channel, and if I did that, it would not be great. All those things.
I'm with Jimmy. I don't show transformation with those figures. The only transformation I show is when I do a core class Hasbro figure. I'm like, flip, look, it's a robot. Zane asked a great question. Have any of us, including the people in the chat, been affected by the tariffs? He recently ordered figures directly from Magic Square done on April 30th, and it stuck. So me personally, I go from Show Z. That's mainly where I buy from, and they've incorporated it into their shipping charges. It's only been like an extra $5 per figure for me, so it doesn't hurt my collecting at this time. Hopefully, I'd love to see it go away. But it's still the amount of money I'm saving buying from Show Z than say TF Source. It's totally fine paying $5 extra.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys.
Yep. And what's even myself, but what happened was like I guess when the 90-day pause came, I just noticed all my stuff started shipping out. So because I think a lot of the companies were waiting to see what happens, and they go, oh, now that the price is a little bit lower, we're going to start shipping our stuff out. But yeah, it's affecting. I mean, it is going to affect collecting and things like that, and you're going to have to be very selective on what you do. And I'm going to tell you this, Eman, this is going back to them Ultra Magnus, though. Magic Square's Ultra Magnus and Six Shot.
They're about to take over the whole industry with that. I got to say real quick, Vintage Wrestling Pickers. Love that name. I'm a huge wrestling fan. Big wrestling mark. I would love to do a wrestling show. First time commenting. Loved your guys' show, so thank you for that. Found us a few weeks ago. Two of his favorite movies are Maximum Overdrive, greatest movie of all time, and Big Trouble in Little China. So I'm happy you love this shirt. Paul, I agree. We will effing see about those tariffs. Pop's Attic has not been affected. Just bought a pallet of Blocky Devastator. So, guys, I think you'll be able to get your Blocky Devastators from Collecticon Toys, which is super cool.
Paul, I shall send you my information. I will go ahead and purchase one of those from you. Thank you very much.
There you go. There you go. Zane Bono, I used to order from Ali, but got a lot of stores that added a $60 add-on fee right now. So they turned to eBay. Yeah, I would never pay anything like that. Like I said, Show Z store is only about $5. So Derek had some of his Hasbro pre-orders canceled. Most people state that 90-day pause. That's where I'm seeing my things ship. Right now, my figures are shipping. And then I've got some dancing from Christina Payne. I don't know who that is, but
that's one of my friends right there from the comic book world. Appreciate it, Christina. Thanks for coming by.
All right. Paul said, get in line. So you better send him a message. I might make a little group together. Picked up the Jetfire Macross Gen 1 reissue and didn't see a huge tariff increase. And Kane says, move to Canada and avoid the tariffs. All right there, buddy.
That's it.
There you
Come on,
go.
buddy.
See, I'm in the
Can I
process of
finish?
rebuilding. Oh, my apologies. Go for it.
No, I was doing South Park Canada stuff. We're good.
Can I finish? But please, can I finish? Please. Okay, I'm finished. No, I'm in the process of like rebuilding my computer right now, and I'm like, okay, I need to figure out what parts I need to get now before the tariffs hit. And then the first thing that I picked up was my GPU, and almost immediately, as soon as these new GPUs drop, the tariffs hit right away. Everyone's selling all of their graphic processing units for just so much more than what MSRP is. So I was affected by the tariffs like dating back to the beginning of February, even before they even officially hit, because everyone's scared of it. And that sucks.
That's it. Yeah.
Autocorrect Primer worked with James Hong from Big Trouble in Little China.
Love some James Hong.
Yeah, who doesn't? Right? Who doesn't?
Did he voice anyone from Transformers? If he didn't, he should. So.
I think he did, didn't he? Didn't James Hong?
Lopan as a Transformer? Can it be? Two girls with green eyes? Yeah. Let's go. I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, that's funny.
James
so
Hong.
Eman, what's the, if you don't want me asking, you have an Optimus G1 that I saw a picture of signed by Peter Cullen, which is freaking amazing in the box and stuff like that. So I don't know if that is your Moby Dick or White Whale, but what is that one figure for you that you're like, I need to get this and I'm trying to find it?
Nope, I got my Grail. That's what I call my Grail. I have my Grail. It's Optimus. It's the G1 Optimus signed by Peter Cullen, which at the same toy show where I met Tim and Carl, getting to meet your childhood hero and then being able to sign a childhood toy that you absolutely love. Like, to me, there's nothing better than that. I'm looking at your Unicrons behind you, and I'm like, man, I wish I can get those. Those are fantastic. Those are other figures that I would like to get. For me, I don't really consider them a Grail, because I know I could probably sell a child and get those, but
I got my Unicrons for $20. I won it on Tim Reagan's game group, and So, and then what I did was I got a 3D printed separator kit so I could get planet mode and robot mode.
Oh my god!
If you want a good Unicron, Studio Cell.
Studio Cell. I want to get. I don't mind matching him up with the Studio Primus either. Like I would totally do those right there.
Cell's top notch. Easily the better figure. There's no doubt in my mind. I did a comparison. It is the better figure, but for my display, that's
have that HasLab.
Better.
I would totally do that right there.
Sela says you have Transformers issue #1 signed by Peter Cullen and Frank Welker.
That I do also. I did at the same show. I have a Transformers #1 signed by both Optimus and Megatron, which I got. And that's something that I hold very near and dear to me. Now, and he's going to call me out on this. It's graded 7.5. Now, I know that there are 9.8 graded, Transformer #1s out in the world, but because I got this one myself, it's mine. It's something that I got. I was there. However, because I knew he was going to bring it up. However, so shit. So shoot, someone's going to figure this out. Okay. So I submitted it. I was at the toy show. I got it signed. I had someone verify it with me. It easily would have been like a 4.0, maybe a 5 or 4.5 or 5.0 graded CGC comic, and it came back at a 7.5. I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess I did something to it, right? And my friend Red, we were talking about it, and then he looked at the comparison picture that I sent to him, like, look what I got. The comic that I actually submitted and the one that I received, not the same.
Really?
Oh no.
No, don't no, because mine was a 4.5 and I got a 7.5 out of that. I'm very much okay with this mistake.
I'm saying oh no for the 4.5er.
So yeah, whoever got the 4.5, they may be watching right now. So Eman's address is
there's no proof that it was yours first of all. And
hey, real quick, I know we had greetings from Indonesia. We just got a good morning from Great Britain. Brilliant show.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. J. I love that.
It. That's awesome.
I want to say goodnight to Pops. Pops said he's going to bed. Listen, brother,
Good
I'm
night,
up at
Pops.
4:30. I get it. I'm going to bed soon too, because we
Yeah.
are going to be wrapping up soon.
So Eman, I mean, and speaking of wrapping up, great guest. I mean, you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And like I said, if you are not subscribed to this channel, you see it scrolling down there.
You really need to.
You do, because like when he put out his your first Transformers review, which was the Supreme Optimus, I believe,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
It was like you've done it for years. I thought
Oh,
you did a really, really great job on it,
thank you.
and did an amazing job. And so, but folks, you do need to subscribe to him, and you could really tell. And this is what separates, I think, really great YouTube channels from good ones, is the passion that you have behind what you talk about. Because I don't want to just hear a talking head tell me about articulation and things like that. I talk about articulation stuff like that, but I also like the passion behind why you love it. And
Yeah.
that's what it is. And I think that's what's great, because I bet you probably have people say, I have no clue what you're talking about, but I see that you enjoy doing it. And that's
So the one thing that I was really trying to do with that Transformers, with that Supreme Transformer unboxing video and review, was that I knew my audience was mostly comic books, but most of my audience knew how much I like Transformers. So I tried to, I tried to speak in such a way where it's like, all right, let me do my best to not overdo the articulation on this and then the craftsmanship and then there's a dot right here that doesn't. I was trying my best not to do things like that. I was like, how does it feel right in my hand right out the box? Let's go ahead and approach it like that and make those initial thoughts right there on the camera without breaking anything down. Just look at it, marvel at it. You love Optimus, don't dumb him down. You love this figure, don't dumb it. Just talk about what you do like about this figure. And that's how I approached that unboxing video, that review video.
yeah, and it was great.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you
So,
so much.
any last thoughts you want to give to anyone out here? But thank you again. Like I said, we turn into pumpkins after 11, because Billy does get up at 4 in the morning. I usually close. I work retail, and so Monday's my days to close. And so, but any last thoughts you want to say, or anything you want to say to anybody out there?
Few things. Autocorrect primer. I actually have quite a few Eman comics upstairs right now, and I actually reached out to the creator of that comic, and I'm going to try to do an interview with him one of these days, just for funsies, right? So I'll try to do that. Keep an eye on my channel. And please forgive me, you guys, because again, I'm new to the Transformer world. But what I'm probably going to start doing now is reviewing and transforming the Magic Square Optimuses that I do have. I do want to talk about those, give you a thought of what these feel like and what these look like from the person who's just starting to collect. Because what I do want to be able to do is hopefully get in touch with those new collectors, because I'm a new collector myself. I don't want them to veer away and be afraid of collecting third parties if they are. I want them to be able to embrace it, and that's how I'm going to attempt to approach these unboxings and transformings and reviews. I'm probably going to review older ones, the things that you guys have already seen, but I want you guys to hear my thoughts on it because I'm new to this. So keep an eye on the channel. I'm going to be doing that right there. And then, of course, I'm going to be doing comic book reviews too. Right now, I'm also working on a script on reviewing the second arc of Transformers from Skybound, issues 7 through 12. I did the first round of the review for the first arc. I'm going to review the second arc and let you guys know exactly how I feel about that. So it's going to be Transformer comic book centric. And then if you like comic books, follow my channel. I'm doing a lot of tech shorts also, just little. If you're into tech, I'm doing like all these little silly tech shorts. And I sometimes I game and I stream my gaming whenever I can. Right now I'm only gaming on Apex Legends, Fragpunk, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So follow me, you guys, if you want to see a nerd do nerdy stuff.
Nice. Well, Billy, if you want to lead us out, and we got this thing we do, Eman. It's a Naked Gun kind of pause because we had to wait for the stream to end. And so if things move in the background, whatever, you just try to stay as still as you possibly can. But whatever.
That's that.
But Billy,
So I want to thank Eman, but first I want to thank the amazing folks that joined us tonight. We had people from all over the world come in. We had a lot of new people. Thank you for joining. Thank you for communicating and asking questions and just showing that you're here. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Paul's going to finish. Listen, I've gotten to hear some of this music and it is fantastic. I loved it. I really hope that he finishes it and releases it, because it's definitely worth your time, especially if you're into 90s tunes. Now, Eman, I really want to thank you for joining us. You are a wonderful guest host. You brought the same energy to the show that you bring into your reviews and your videos. I do wish I could match that production quality you have. That's something I don't think I will ever match. I could probably drop $100,000 on equipment and it will not look the same. So, folks, go there, give a sub, give a watch, leave some comments. Let's help him grow. Thank you so much for joining us. Jimmy, it's always a pleasure. I love working with you. You're my brother in arms. I can't wait for next week. Everybody that's here, good night. Thank you so much. Be safe. Be well.